Hey guys, I'm back again and I'm here to do a review of Nervous Conditions by Tsitsi Dangarembga. And this was a book that came out in 1988 and is now considered a Black classic. And it's something that I feel like everybody should give it a try if they have not. This is a book that discusses decolonization in particularly Rhodesia, because it's supposed to be Rhodesia in the book at the time, the 1960s in Rhodesia. Rhodesia is the name of Zimbabwe before its independence. And we are following the main character, Tombu, and she is about 15, I think, years old, or 14 or 15 years old when the book begins. And so she is a young woman who wants more of life than what she's getting. So her brother is allowed to go to school, and she would like to be able to go to school as well. But all the money that they have goes into sending her brother. Subsequently, something will happen which will then allow Tombu to eventually go to school. But what we will see from that is how much of a hold colonialism had on Rhodesia at the time, and how that colonial control, how it seeped down into the depths of even the Rhodesian, the Black culture of that country, and how that combined with being a woman and women's rights, how women are viewed and what is expected of them. So as we see, as we're reading this first person narrative from Tombu's point of view, we see that women, their trajectory is to learn how to cook, clean, take care of the house, the animals, everything around, and to get married and eventually have a bunch of kids and do as they're told and keep their head down. That is not the life that Tombu really wants. She wants more, and she wants to be educated. And she seems to be first motivated from her aunt, her uncle's wife, who is an educated woman, has a master's that she studied and got in the UK when her husband was brought there as one of the only Rhodesian Black men in that area, in that village, that was allowed to go and study in these religious schools in the UK to get an education. And so when he comes back, he then does the exact same thing that the colonists did to him, which is choose one person that he is going to dote on to give this so-called elitist education. And from there, the story rolls and we start to get like this understanding of the lack of women's rights at the time. But not only that, the strong colonial power over the people. Now, the good thing about this book is there are no white voices in the book. So as much as we see the hold that colonialism has on the people in this particular village, the story is strictly told from a Black point of view. We're only hearing the Black people. We are not hearing the white people who at the time in Rhodesia were in power. And so she manages to take us through quite a lot of the cultural differences between men and women and what's expected of the women through Tombu, who is growing up. It's a coming of age story. I highly recommend this. It's such a wonderful reading. That first person point of view, you may think, oh my God, it's going to be too much. But in fact, it's a very, very emotional, but also a very believable, true telling point of view. I also commend the author for touching on one particular aspect in this book that I have not seen ever before. Now, I haven't read tons of books, not enough to be able to say hands in the fire, but I can say that in a lot of Black books, I don't think I've read any that deal with one particular aspect in this book before. And I feel like the way it was dealt with was done brilliantly, and it brings in something that is a problem as well, but it's something that I just don't remember reading that in other books. So I highly recommend picking up Nervous Conditions. Like I said, it is a trilogy. So the first book is Nervous Conditions. The second one is The Book of Not. And the third one is This Mournable Body. And I think this one was longlisted for the Booker last year. So highly recommended. This is one that you should definitely not leave behind. This wonderful, beautifully written Black African classic. It's a must read. So that's all I have for you today. Bye.